Hi folks, so we are nearing the end of round 6 in the Thrones World Cup and we have a very decisive game for you today. So the situation is that Slovenia and Italy of course are playing for the last spot in the cut, and I believe we showed you games up to 3-0 for in favor of Slovenia, and then we had a couple of setbacks. We lost the next two. Unfortunately, I was not around to record Peter's game, so he lost his white book against Knights of Chaluf, and then I also lost against Francesco. There is a recording of that, but it would take another hour to record commentary. So that went 3-2, and then we had Katya's game, and it was actually Katya's first win against Danny Crossing. And unfortunately, even though we tried to record it, so I pressed record and then we had to go out to deal with Sarah's dog issues. And yeah, unfortunately, first 25 minutes were recorded and then my laptop went idle or whatever and it didn't record. I didn't consider that that would happen. So we have half of the game, but unfortunately, you can't really see the key development. So if anyone has a recording of that and would be willing to share it for us to record commentary, that would be great, but I doubt it. But we did win, so that was 4-2. And
That was actually really good because the other matchup that we had after was Myrtle versus Winter, and
yeah,
that was not looking promising for us. And
we did record that one without commentary, so that also is not on the channel. Actually, it was a really good game. We got much closer than we thought. Sonia had a good start, and Greyjoy was struggling, and yeah, just needed a little bit, tiny bit more luck. But yeah, can't ask for that much really. And Greyjoy turned it around. So went 4-3, which means we are guaranteed a decisive game. If it's 4-4, we get the Champions Challenge or whatever it's called. But we still have the match point here against this burn deck that you're going to play with against with your Qohor. So Qohor we know, but this you can have a quick look.
as you all know, I do love Burn.
Yeah,
Very fun to play against. But I will say that as far as matchups are concerned, I think that's a positive matchup for Qohor. So there's a lot of things that don't work on characters with attachment. So if the situations comes to that, I can spread out the attachment a little bit. If I don't have a big, I can put some warhammers or some bodyguards on Cerusi, for example, so she can get burned by a Drogon, as well as consume. A dragon is no slave, right? So that one also doesn't work on attachments. That's alright. Then, of course, the MVP of this matchup, Stannis, can't get burned at all. So that's another thing that I have going for me. And also, there's one high road, but other than that, I am guaranteed to have one no burn round if I play supporting the fate.
yeah. Although this is a Fealty deck, so you can reduce Dracarys if you
Sure, yeah,
leave the
but
faction card standing.
that's a bit easier to play around, I think, because you have to have dragon that's standing and stuff, yeah. And Summerhall and some other of these locations can also get nailed by the smith, and I think sometimes it's pretty key to play maybe some king in the north to stop either Drogo or something like that if you're in a bad situation. I think what is struggled the most is there's father that's annoying. If you can't find a dupe and it goes back to hand, it's sometimes hard to pay for characters again. And then the other thing is just kind of regular aggro and then march to the wall. It's also dangerous, if you have Drogo and you do two challenges with Drogo, that's two characters gone, and just one that gets burned by something like Stormcrows or something like that can be problematic. So that's the things that I'm most afraid of, I think.
Yeah, just some random interactions. I mean, you have a lot of charts and storm crows into some kind of Summerhold trigger. I mean, on Blood of the Dragon round,
Yeah.
it's particularly bad.
And as well, I think on the Blood of the Dragon there are two copies of Crown of Gold. That's
Mm, yeah, just
insta
put it
kill on
on
Robert.
and
Yeah.
dies. Yeah. Viserys also dies. Not multiple copies of
Mm.
Viserys, but you can
And
father him or whatever,
yeah,
march him.
so this is one, but also the favorite Shadow of the East.
Yes.
That if you get it, you can play Time of Plenty and just have a round of fun attachment discarding.
Yeah, that should be enough goal to discard all of them or all that matter,
Yeah,
really.
all that matter. I think unless I'm having a really good round game that I have so many attachments that Shadow of the East can't get rid of all the expensive ones or all the Warhammers. You know, you go first, you have Warhammer, you think you're gonna intimidate something, and then it all goes to downhill, right?
Downhill. Yeah. I mean, it is the only summer plot, and you're not randomly giving Targaryen any summer of your
Yeah,
own, so
no
they have to
summers.
play Time of Plenty. But if they do get the event, yeah, it's not that difficult. That can ruin Qohor's game. I mean, Shadow of the East is super annoying, although sometimes it looks really bad and then it's not that impactful. But yeah, I can imagine a scenario where you really need the
Hmm.
attachments, they go, and then there's just no game after that.
Yeah,
So there's the matchup. We played a couple of test games. Couple in two of them, the aggro worked with Drogo, and in the other two, it was just nothing impactful drawn, and then Targ does nothing. So I'm hoping for one of those basically. But wonder how realistic it is. So
yeah,
here's the game. I recorded it. We can't see the cards.
yeah. Unfortunately, because so you can see I kept my hand, and it was I think the most perfect hand to just get out of the game without even mulliganing. I had Selisi, two chads that I can marshal with her, Econ. I had Azor Reborn as well and Stannis in hand, and the King's Road.
Hmm.
So honestly,
Well,
perfect.
apart from Drogon now being there, and he can be annoying, he can kill
Well,
Khaleesi.
for yeah, for me, for what I can get, I got the perfect cards. Then what he gets, also got some of his good stuff, right? So yeah, just from my perspective, it was the perfect start. I swear the only one that was missing was the Red Priest. So.
Hmm. Yeah, Red Priest is actually pretty decent in this
And
matchup.
here he puts in High Road, which I didn't expect. I think it's a good play, to have a play around supporting, and also Baratheon does sometimes struggle with Econ, although I think I'm pretty good with Econ here with Celici and Rose Road, and of course I have to go first. I already don't have attachments, so I give him extra gold, and um, especially knowing I have Stannis, I have to go first and intimidate. Here comes Stannis. There's there's gonna be a lot of thinking because everything is so. I feel like with this Targaryen, right, everything is one wrong move and your whole board goes away, and then you can't recover ever. So you have to be a bit careful about it.
Okay, so you have Azor highly born, so Stannis is in multiple challenges. The problem is the characters you put into challenges with him are not themselves
Yeah,
immune.
and basically, if they die, then this is unparticipated, right?
Yeah, and then now Intimidate. So he has to get one for sure, but then you have to trade into Warhammer if you want to get rid of
Mm-hmm.
Drogon, and if you do that, then Selisi's strength boost goes, and she's down to the dangerous 3.
Yeah, and I was thinking I was gonna do a challenge with Selisi when she's on 7 because 7 is hard to burn, but he kept so much gold.
Yeah, didn't go into Gates of the Moon, I guess. I mean, okay, for gold, that if you have Dragon is now slave, that's not a problem.
And
Just
here
play it.
comes this really annoying one.
Yeah, that stops
Because,
Stannis doing 2 challenges.
yeah, I think if I want to do two challenges with Stannis, I have to do one military. And I really don't want that.
You could milk him in the meantime, but that's not a good play.
Yeah, that's too awkward because if I had an extra attachment, I would. But, yeah. Mm. So, yeah, if there wasn't 4 gold left, I would do a challenge with Selisi, right? But with 4 gold, I think this is too valuable.
It's one Dracarys and one Consuming Flames, by the way, so.
Yeah, I mean, you spend a lot of stuff, but honestly, I think just burning CDC is worth it because also the attachment then goes to hand, and I can't intimidate.
Mm.
Um, so I rather not do that than just go with the Chad for intrigue first.
Yeah, on the other hand, so Stannis himself is immune. So once he's attacking, you can pretty much count the power here. So if he does a power challenge, that's 7, and if there's not 7 on the board, I mean, there's a little bit of Missandei can come into play, I
Mm-hmm.
guess, somehow. Uh,
Yeah, for
but
intrigue claim, for example.
but really, he's super safe, so you can guarantee that it's going to work. So we go intrigue with the small expandable one and see what happens. So by the way, if Drogon is still there and he can win military back, he murders, let's say, one of the Chads, and then you have to claim one. If you claim the dupe, you have no dupes. If you
Mm-hmm.
claim the other guy, then you have
Yeah,
two characters
I
for
think
March.
maybe it's not always, but here is played Morgulis, not the Harris. So yeah.
So basically, you have to keep dupes and you have to keep a Chad at all times to absorb March to the wall. That's as soon as that's not the situation, then Targaryen can get a hold on this game really.
Yeah, and discarding Fire and Blood, that's one of the least offensive events. I would rather hit something else. So I'm thinking now if I do trade, because I think it's still better to intimidate Drogon and be safe from him because there's no plaza than to try to defend him. But yeah, the attachment from Khaleesi would have to go.
Mhm.
Again, I play so slow, but I'm so nervous for these World Cup games because it's the decisive one, and yeah, do apologize.
Yeah, I mean that's a good chance to intimidate here.
Yes.
On the power, if everything defended and if it's just Stannis alone, he actually cannot get Drogon, right? So
Yeah.
that's fair enough. Take the chance. And now what is the question? So Stannis is safe. He can do another challenge and he has the Warhammer now. Question is, do you want to keep him standing to defend military? Because unless Quake of the Shadows comes in, he is strong enough and should be able to do it.
But honestly, if Quake of the Shadows comes in and I don't know what it does. Okay, so nothing, just comes in to defend.
Yeah, I mean, he would provide some strength
Yeah,
so
comes
that
in to
Stannis would
defend.
lose, right?
Stannis loses, but then everything is nailed, so I'm happy with that as well.
No, but if you pass, I mean, if you pass and then Quake of the Shadows comes in, he has enough strength to do military. Stannis
Oh,
cannot defend then. So you go for power. The question is it Ango, is it Stannis? You still have Zorha reborn, but if Ango is burned, then yeah, that's bad.
yeah, the thing is, I want to keep two jets to protect from Archie, so um, I'm thinking to go like this, and then I suppose the thing to do would be to potentially trade into Seal of the Hand and just have Stannis standing again,
Mm.
because it could even be better than Azor High.
Yeah, could be if you're not comfortable putting other people in challenges here.
Yeah, now I'm thinking about if I want to trade into yeah. So either I trade into Seal and stand him, then he can defend the military, or I trade into uh, Seal and stand him. Bodyguard and just can use the bodyguard. But I think it's better to do this. And I wanted to not get intrigue claim as well because um, he actually, I think he drew. I think every time that Stannis draws, he either draws a dupe for himself or he draws Melisandre.
Mm.
I think he was Melisandre.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I mean here he is. So there is a chance to do military and intimidate the last guy, then you will be super safe, but it kills
Yeah, no, I
Viserys.
mean, if I do military and try to intimidate the last guy, Viserys dies and I lose the intimidate.
Oh, you take the Warhammer away, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, sure.
he could, right?
He could. You could trade Seal into Lightbringer to stand then.
I suppose so. But
Yeah, that's not good.
then I'm losing
Although
the.
Viserys will go out of play at some point, right? You can just march him
The
here.
thing is, Seal can also be traded back into Azor, so I'm thinking like that.
Hmm.
That's why I didn't take Warhammer, but maybe I should because yeah, it's a bit questionable because yeah.
Well, that's the father. That's the really at this point a big problem, and it's going to be spent here. So this is the tricky round where things could go wrong. So Viserys will leave play for sure, and Stannis if there's no dupe uh, with his attachments. Now actually having Seed instead of Azor Ahai, which is terminal. Best thing would be, of course, to dupe Stannis now.
Yeah, I mean,
So I could try really hard to do that. You win initiative though, which is still nice, so you can get rid of Drogon again, presumably.
so I have another King's Road in hand, and I also have Dragonstone Port. So I'm thinking to use Dragonstone Port now and keep the King's Road. So presumably he takes Stannis, right? And I have to replay him. And here comes Melisandre.
I will tell you a little story. So, in one of the preview articles for
I'm a bit scared.
Fury of the Storm or whatever it was, the Bara box, uh, there was a funny line. It's one of those official FFG articles where it said you can use cards like Dragonstone Port, and there was a link to click on the image to reduce the cost of Stannis or words to that effect. It was like a ridiculous fuck you to Baratheon players. So you can use your corset crappy economy if you want to replay stuff that leaves play.
Okay. So was this the round where Mika was sitting next to me and telling me, "You still have the silice reduction," and I didn't have anything for silice reduction, or was that the next round where I almost punched him in the face?
Yeah, I didn't know what you had. Yeah, would it be nice to get an Zora high again? So you have supporting. At the moment, you're still would have been better to marshal King's Road if you're not going to spend 2 gold.
No, I was gonna spend the gold. I'm just thinking what I should do. I think I spent one more. I think I spent enough that it doesn't work out with King's Road.
Ah,
Oh
okay.
yeah, it was the milk. I was thinking if it's worth to put milk on this guy. I think it is because when he gonna leave play, he's gonna take one of the good attachments, right? So I don't wanna lose it. So if I lose milk instead of losing Warhammer or disputed claim is actually fairly valuable because it puts some pressure because the last round was okay, nothing bad happened. But there was also no real power gain, right? So
Yeah, so there is also a chance to trade milk off if something weird is now marshaled, something.
yeah, I think now I'm a bit scared because now you see there's Summerhole Marshal and Summerhole can actually just then kill my chads with Dragon is no slave.
Yeah, good job that supporting the fight is here. So last round, Alex actually saved a lot of gold, so presumably he has that and could try to replay it, but now Fealty is not enough, so has to raise the high road and look at the econ then, just one
Mm,
Illyrius estate.
yeah.
So that's not that brilliant. Although it is a bit tricky, so let's assume one of them dies, Angui or Acolyte, and then you have to claim something for military. Then the three left would be Silisi, Stannis, and Melisandre. One can be returned to hand, one can be marched. That's a big problem. So seems like this round you should strive to not get military claim. And you can, I think. So if Stannis is left standing, he's bigger than the Targ threats. Get Jorah or one of the dragons again.
Yeah, I'm thinking to try actually more than anything to not get that intrigue claim, because I have the King's Road, and if I want to replace stuff and the attachments, I kind of need it. And I'm thinking I'm just gonna go for military as well, because the obvious want to claim. I mean, if he wants to claim right Viserys, the trigger would be wasted. But of course, he can kill the dragon. No, not Dragonstone. The what? What's the Targaryen reducer?
Targaryen
Targaryen
loyalist.
loyalist. Okay.
He's a
So,
non-loyal character. Like Lannisport merchant. It's not doesn't have the merchant trait.
and honestly, in retrospect, I think here it would be better to just straight seal into Lightbringer, because Lightbringer is gonna come back to hand and it's gonna be easy to replay because of Cilicia, and Seal of the Hand in the long run was not easy to replay at all.
Yeah. So the question here that I was wondering about. So basically, you will probably now pass to stop that scenario where military claim happens, presumably.
Well, I think what happens is I do a military challenge and try to. I mean, yeah, I do dysentery first,
Okay.
because uh, I don't know. This one is fairly expendable. If he wants to burn him now, I know where I'm at, and everything's spent. And if he um, fans, there's one intrigue gone. But you know what I mean. I want to get um, to protect my hand, basically. No?
Yeah. So I was wondering what character will return to hand. He's gone very wide here, right, with characters. So
I mean, obviously
Viserys
Viserys.
can go to hand, and okay, his ability doesn't trigger. He's a
Yeah,
super
but
cheap trade for Viserys for Stannis. And then he comes back unmilked to be a
yeah.
problem again. Although we're also looking at if you don't keep a bodyguard, right? Missandre is there and Stannis is there without protection, so he could take Drogon and risk Morghulis. That was a possibility. And here actually the one event that
Mm-hmm.
could have caused problems actually goes out.
Well, the problem is that it will be able to be replayed at some point, right?
Yes, if a dragon wins, but you can't take it back with zero code. Can't use fealty reduction for that.
Mm-hmm.
So are we doing military? If we could intimidate both of them, we might.
And the thing is, if I do military, if he wants to do military back, then he has to leave it unopposed, and then I don't get intrigue.
Hmm.
And if he doesn't leave it unopposed, then I don't get intrigue or military. Yeah. I think it's alright. Happy with this choice.
It's risky.
And honestly, I should trade into the other attachment as well.
Stan is going to grab the second renown from disputed claim,
Mm-hmm.
which is tradable into a bodyguard. Here's where that possible play could happen, where he
Yeah, I'm
forgets about
thinking
the
about
father,
it.
uses it on Selisi, for instance, and the problem is Morghulis with that kind of econ, and you play
Mm-hmm.
air for sure, and you have three lords and
Yeah,
ladies, so
so
you can't miss the top, can you?
I
Realistically,
mean, I think the problem is I wouldn't get Stannis probably because I think at some point he does draw the dupe then. Maybe
Mhm.
not in, actually maybe not in this round, but I know eventually he did again draw the dupe and the Melisandre, which is standard. And yeah, I don't know. I think trading into the um, Lightbringer would be the thing to do the best.
Okay, so Drakkar is still there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to risk Silisi or Melisandre? Well, Angu you could risk potentially,
I'm thinking about it.
but then he would do military, right? And then you're in trouble.
Yes.
No power on the faction card, so it may be worth leaving one just for safety, and then next round after the father is gone, Stannis comes back. Yes, things get a little bit comfortable, more comfortable. We are being slightly distracted by Dennis defending his incredibly easy Stark crossing wins is not being a good matchup in the first place. It's a bit embarrassing for him, but okay, let's concentrate.
And then I don't know why, by the way, in this action video, I again was thinking about defending because clearly, if I didn't defend the one that I could win, why would I defend this one?
Yeah.
But the thing is, I was starting to think, okay, so now disputed claim is going to be useless a bit, and I'm going to have to trade into the Lightbringer, and I didn't, so that's a bit bad and annoying. Regretting that choice. Come on, just pass.
It's still pretty bad, right? If Dragon is no slave, if there's another one in hand.
Yeah,
It kills both
because
Chads.
kills the Chads and then
I have to probably take the Silisi dupe at that point because March becomes worse than Murgulis.
yeah, but then you're in you're in danger.
So there we are, the moment of truth. Silisi or Stannis. Taking Stannis gives you a lot more time. Take 2 renown, try your
Mm-hmm.
aggro again, if it works. Taking Silisi is pretty telegraphed what's going to happen, but the econ doesn't support Morgulis here, and there's no dupes. So goes for Viserys and Stannis. Now Viserys, by the way, is on Blood of the Dragon. You just marshal and remove an attachment.
Yeah, but I don't have attachments now.
No, not at the moment. Everything goes with Stannis actually, and you're 2 reserve. But
Which is not great.
I mean, Viserys can be now presumably not going to meet again, so he can get rid of the biggest one. Let's see it for
Yeah, but I
instance.
have to. Mm. I mean, yeah, if he plays God with the Dragon, yes.
And we have the dragon is now slave in the discard pile now, which is also awkward. So Econ is a little bit weak, as we said, and I think Time of Plenty is the only big one at this point. So Alex has Morgulis, has Coppers, has Blood of the Dragon. They're all 2, and
Yeah,
March.
and I need now a big econ plot to remarshal my stuff, so I'm thinking have to do Smith.
Ah, which takes care of Summerhall as well.
Yeah, unless there's Blood of the Dragon, in which case kind of waste the Smith.
Yeah, but it's not really. There's no. It's not a situation for Blood of the Dragon.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean,
Interesting.
it
No
could be
attachments.
because no, there's no attachment, so he has some extra gold on the Blood of the Dragon as well, and I think if he has a challenge with Dragon and then Dragon is no slave, is played, can kill Silisi. Unless I put attachments in it, of course, but like I said, the guy can just remove it. But he goes for March, which is the other one that I think that was the only two that I
So
was thinking about. And
Alex didn't think he was going to get about better march than this. Had to march Chad basically. I mean,
no,
these
it's
four
alright because
characters against
actually
two.
just getting the initiative is a bit questionable. Because if I don't have the Intimidate for Drogo and I don't have a Melisandre Nil, the problem is the Melisandre Nil is actually Stannis that I got back to hand. But the annoying thing is he now gets the initiative and he gets +1 gold from me and I can't use the Smith on his icon.
Yeah, and if Khal Drogo now comes into play,
It's not fun. Not fun at all.
but
This one is alright.
this was a good sign, I think. Rank Harden means there's nothing more problematic in hand, and
I mean,
okay,
but this one, yeah, this was annoying as well.
can be March now, but Blood of the Dragon.
Yes. Calculating the gold now because I do actually also have Robert. But yeah, Robert's a bit risky. It's the nice safety with Stannis and the Melisandre here as well.
And there we are, using that Dragonstone Port to reduce the cost of Stannis. I'll show you the article later. It's most amusing. Because usually you get like actually useful suggestion for synergies, right? Have Ariane Vertel putting in the area of Hotak and stuff like that you get in articles, not using a reducer location to reduce the cost of something. It's just like saying you're not getting anything great in this pack, but you can use the stuff you already have. So you have the gold for Seal, but you need more characters, I think, and more attachments.
Yeah.
Do you have a Silisi attachment?
Do I? I think I do at this point.
Not using this one in advance to reduce the
Or
cost
do
of
I not?
Stannis.
No, because I don't have.
Come on, let's have a Lightbringer as well on Stannis.
No, here I was mostly thinking should I put Warhammer actually on Selisi to give her some strength so she can defend more safely, but yeah, I didn't. I think I now have John Erin and another child.
Okay, so high road with 4 gold, presumably everything that Alex
Yeah,
wants to
it's whatever.
play is he can, but Summerhall actually, so that plan, Dragon is no slave, just killing something is prevented now. That's actually pretty good, but it will be problematic again when Blood of the Dragon is presumably revealed, so you need to have something for Cersei then, I think. Or for Melisandre, really.
And so I didn't have to do for Stannis yet, but actually I don't now have any Melisandre triggers in hand, I think. And struggling with cards, and here is Dragon in the challenge, so I'm thinking about it. Seems like he has Dracarys, but I think at this point I just decide to go for it and defend it with Melisandre.
That's risky, because then she gets killed and the intrigue goes through as well. And okay, Stannis can actually defend military, but then he's not doing what he's supposed to do on the counter.
Yeah, I think I'm just defending this round because I don't.
So if Melisandre dies, so that big worry getting your last remaining resources marched actually is not happening now. Morgul is still not good for the opponent.
Yeah.
And things become a little bit more expendable. Still Mad King's command at some point to come.
It's taking ages.
Yeah,
Horrible that I'm so slow.
it's the key decision though. So I don't think
And
we
still
know.
Robert in hand.
We don't
Whatever.
know any cards, right, in Alex's hand.
No. It's the only thing that I didn't get was
Mm.
the red pit. And here, honestly, here feel like I was struggling a little bit because the board is not great, and
Well, when he passed the action windows here, I thought we're probably going to win this now if he didn't have
yeah.
the burn here. Maybe he has consuming flames, which he could have used to win the challenge, but keeps her alive, which defeats the purpose really.
And right here, I'm thinking, okay, let's leave military, try to defend power, because if Blood of the Dragon is played, the reduce is gonna go anyway, immediately, right?
Yeah. And no dragon attacking this time. So
Yes.
last time Regal was going to get dragon is now slave back, but not now. Well, there's no attachment that stands Stannis now. Can't trade two cost attachment. So he's not going to strike back, so may as well defend, I think.
Yeah, and even if he does, it's a bit weak because he's not gonna have
The,
renown.
the threat of Dracarys is also gone, but actually defending with Khaleesi here means consuming flames would kill her. It wouldn't Melisandre, but
Yeah.
with Khaleesi, if that's the card in hand, that's a disaster.
Yes.
So you are behind, but honestly, not that much considering 3 on 3 with Mad King's command is going to favor you here.
Yeah, and here I'm getting tempted to do a power challenge with Lisi because he didn't burn Melisandre, but yeah, consuming flames is probably not worth it. So
Yeah, you just need to get back to that situation where Stannis can be the one in every challenge and no one else. But he does need one of the. I mean, Seal is in hand still.
here I'm thinking I want to get rid of a few of them, right? And get the Mad King's command played, but honestly not sure it was the right one to go for.
Absolutely was the right one. I mean, can't. If you have no Melisandre needed for Drogon guaranteed, and you have um, no way to defend everything against the dragons that are going to take Dragon is no slave back. It's going to be problematic.
I don't know at which point I got the Stannis, but I know that I got it. I think maybe I have the other one, the one of the ruler chats, but
Well, Viserys dies immediately and takes the Warhammer, so he is now dead and cannot take Seal. And okay, Dragon of the
the
East,
problem
Shadow of the East still there, but the Econ Blood Dragon is disastrous.
the problem is I don't know if I can marshal if I can marshal it actually because yeah, for gold and I want to do Melisandre here obviously.
Mm.
And I got Alistair, which is a bit better because it gets you an extra card, which is alright. I know it's gonna go away for my King's Command, but if he doesn't have what's it called? Crown of Gold, which I'm kind of thinking he maybe does, but if he doesn't, I can not keep Alistair and deal another one, and yeah, should be okay.
Mm. Anything left for 1 gold? I mean, we're down to one attachment.
I think at this point I do have a Sleazy reduction. Do I not? Yes, I do. I think maybe even Alistair got it. Or I drew it in the trophies, but I didn't have it in hand before. But yeah.
Got Khaleesi to 5 strength with Red God's Blessing here.
Yeah, but then he kills Melisandre, right?
Well, Selisi is duped and we still have Margulis, so.
I just went for you.
And Dragon is now Slave itself, also works on only on characters without
Yeah, but the
attachments.
problem is I have to trade it for stand, right?
Mm. Well, there it is. Kills Lissy, which actually leaves you down to 3 characters, so now may as well keep Alistair.
Yeah.
And you can't really risk. You could calculate if you're safe from military. I mean, Stannis would need to do military stand himself to then defend. You'd lose the other challenges. Better to have an extra character.
And the problem is that March is now gone, and I have now some chats. I have some of the Rolor chat. I don't know, they're all interchangeable, the intrigue power ones that don't have insight. And uh, I'm fine to repopulate if he kills everything except Stannis, and I think that's reasonable enough that he doesn't have enough to kill Stannis, even if he has enough to kill two of my characters.
Yeah, too bad it didn't have a Rose Road as well, so we have to go down to 3 here. Presumably go back up to 4 if Stannis draws.
He should.
It's slightly trickier for Alex here. I think he has to give up on Drogon. Can't really
Yeah,
afford to have a nailed character when it's 3 on 3.
the problem is I can't do two intimidates with Stannis either way, right? Because have to first trade into the stand and then into yeah, the other one. I can do challenge with Melisandre now because she's now in the reach of consuming flames. Yeah, maybe if I did have the attachment, it would be better.
Alistair is slightly more interesting as an option to do a challenge because if he's burned during the challenge, of course, he can then kneel one. That's a
Yeah,
quasi
but I mean,
intimidate.
if he does a challenge, first of all, you can defend, but even more so, you can just not burn him and he will not have intimidate and you can
Mm.
leave it unopposed and it's all the same.
So power is the one he can win fairly easily. He would win military as well.
So I have to get the intrigue because no intrigue, the renown, because if I don't have renown, it's the problem is first of all I'm playing slowly, so I'm behind and playing too slow to have that much time to get 2 powers per round, and yeah.
Hmm. Disputed claim just got turned on. He's now
Yeah, I
strength
mean
11.
he does have renown, so I'm thinking maybe I could get Warhammer, but honestly, probably not, because then I don't have another challenge with him.
Hmm.
And I really could just pass here, I think. Oh no, they have enough. Do they have enough?
They have enough to do military. He can defend to make it not
Oh yeah,
unopposed,
he has.
and
No, no, he has 7. He has 7 and Stannis has 8.
is Regal not 3? Regal is 3, so it's 8 8.
Oh, Regal is 3, sorry. Yeah, yeah.
So
Okay, so
here, basically, Alex has a slightly tricky choice because if he takes the dupe, then any hope of Morgulising is gone. And if he doesn't, if he kills one of the other ones, then one is killed, one is intimidated. It reduces his options.
And now?
And one defends even.
Yeah.
So that one's probably now going to be killed. Keeps the dupe.
And I'm thinking if he keeps the dupe, then I have to trade into bodyguard anyway, so.
Mm-hmm. I think this is where you probably drew Stannis, right?
Yeah.
Now that play, you have three lords, right? If you take trade into bodyguard and then actually use bodyguard as claim soak, and then try air, it's not looking good to actually get Stannis if you drew the dupe.
Mm-hmm.
Because the game still, even if he Morgulis is right, and there's I don't know, you get Melisandre there with air, and she stays, and then he uses the high road and gets crown of gold or something, and it's Viserion against an empty board. It sucks for you. Although I think you have still Robert, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Warhammer would intimidate one and leave you basically with one challenge you're going to lose, and bodyguard saves you from just the
Yeah,
worst
the
case scenario.
problem now is that Stannis is going to stay alone, almost for sure, because you kill one with dragon is no slave, and you kill the other for military claim, right?
And in the meantime, presumably Melisandre cannot defend.
No, she's not even winning.
Yeah. Although that plan does take the high road away, right? So
Yeah, that
Econ,
is true.
then you have Coppers and Morgulis. So it have to play Time of Plenty, which also gives you another card, and you have the superior Econ still and initiative. Actually, Econ is kind of the same because he's playing Fealty.
I lose the seal. It's not great.
Yeah, Walter Stannis was doing alright.
Yeah, and he plays it good because if he used the dragon is no slave, right, he would get the new, but no, yeah. And you still can't defend because if it burns some other, if he burns him some other way, oh, maybe I could actually defend this one. 'Cause it wouldn't matter. Totally should defend this one, right? Because seriously can, Melisandre can't be killed with dragon is no slave.
It doesn't matter, he's going to do this anyway.
It's, no, but it would be a banana postless.
He was going to kill him during the challenge while he was
Ah,
defending.
yeah, sure, yeah. True. Doesn't matter then. Have to keep Stannis now.
Good job, March is gone. And he has the bodyguards, he's not Morgulisable.
Yes.
9-6. And you have initiative because his plots are now 2, 1, and 0.
Yeah, and Morgulis is losing. The only thing is I can't really afford to now play king in the north. Honestly, it wouldn't even be that good because it only stops some of his econ, which is good because he's very down on econ, but also stops my stand from Stannis and I lost the attachment that can be replaced into Azora High. So just go for barring. I don't think barring does anything actually, but it wins initiative.
Yeah,
Has decent gold.
there's a little bit of coming into play outside of marshalling in this deck. Below average
I
for
mean,
Targaryen
yeah,
standards.
it
Fire,
does something, but
Fire and Blood is gone already. Sunday
there's
was
one fine but
recycled.
Missandei is dead, and
No, I think she went for Matkins Command, right?
Oh, okay, so my Sunday will be stopped. And I think there's Old Will Bone and one Quake of the Shadows.
And Drogon has ambush.
Sure.
No goes for that. So, Robert or Chuds? Chuds.
I think to just win shots.
Stannis now duped, so even bodyguard. I mean, you can now play King in the North very safely next round because you don't need bodyguard to go through. Just keep the dupe and you're fine. So you can trade finally into Warhammer, right?
Yes. And honestly, John is alright because if there is Morgulis, he just can win. And even if he's burned, get extra power.
Well, at this point, there might be something a little bit more useful in hand for Alex, but having played Coppers.
Yeah, the Econ's rough. Maybe. Not sure if he was happy with not playing Gates of the Moon instead of the High Road.
Yeah, we didn't see anything go from hand. I mean, you didn't actually win Intrigue on attack at any point, right? Or maybe just once.
Twice.
Twice, okay. But we didn't see any econ fly out of the hand, so just had one of those games where needed a Rose Road or something. Actually, doesn't play Rose Roads in the deck. But yeah,
No.
another Illyrius state or whatever.
Oh, there's the Sunday.
Hmm.
Mm.
Keeps Fealty. Hmm.
And I'm just now basically thinking, should I just do John Aaron in the challenge? He's gonna get an extra card and power, and then I think I'm close enough to winning this game.
Well, down to
My
10
other
minutes.
option obviously was to play just Robert. Robert would be alone, and then I do a challenge with Robert and Stannis, and if Robert gets burned, that's not super great.
Yeah, it's not, but still you keep Stannis with bodyguard.
Although
And
I don't think Robert can just get burned with this one because it's 5 strength. Right?
yeah, the thing is, I mean, Stan is still going to win challenges.
Yeah.
Not like, okay, you burn Robert, so you take whatever, 2 for power away, but you're not dealing with Stannis. And now John Arryn is there. So he's an extra source of renown and insight, so if you can't burn him, you might try, but no. He goes through, he dies in Morgulis, but so 1 power goes away, but he might then give you with his ability
Yeah.
either power or card, presumably at this point power. 2 insight as well, or Stannis plus insight. Some stuff is now dead. Celis and Melisandre are dead, so they're dead draws. Still Beric alive, and well, the Chads, obviously the non-uniques.
And I think this is now winning. It has to defend. I can intimidate the other one.
Hmm.
Just collect dominance.
So there we are. Good game. He got all the answers and actually got one of those games that I described where Tark had nothing. He had Drogon, but Drogon was weak to just to straight Melisandre kneel every round. Never did a challenge
Yes.
right, or actually was intimidated at some point as well, not just Ned.
Not just that.
Not
And
just Ned in marshalling.
yeah, no Shadow of the East. I was struggling a bit in the mid game with attachments. I only had the Warhammer and Disputed Claim and the expensive 3 cost one. Honestly, if I traded that immediately, right, for Lightbringer, it would be so much better.
Mm. Well, it is what it is. So Slovenia beats Italy by 5 wins to 3.
Which means we're in the cut and we can be picked first.
We are in the cut, so we have a free week while the last 7th round of the song group takes place next week. And yes, at the end of the week, as we said in the stream the other day, the four top seeds for the cut. So the two top teams from Group Song and then the top teams from Group Fire and Ice, which we know our friends in Catalonia are going to pick their quarterfinal opponents in some kind of order depending on the results, and we'll see where we get picked. So we'll be among the other four teams along with Norway, Israel, and whoever is the unlucky one in Group Song. That's going to be a mighty strong team, whoever finishes third there. So thank you for being with us this week, and we'll see you in round 7.
Bye bye.